company came out with a certain sports drink and conducted a study. They had a control group and an experimental group. The control group was little leaguers who were not given the sports drink. They pitched them the ball and saw how far they could hit it. The experimental group were Major League Baseball players. They pitched them the ball after giving them the sports drink and saw how far they could hit the ball. And they concluded that the sports drink enabled the ball to be hit 10 times farther than someone who does not consume the sports drink. Sounds like a flawed study, doesn't it? Well, it is, and I also just made that up. The point is, when you do a study, you've got to match the control group and the experimental group for it to be valid. My name is Paul Basulka, Ivy Masters Learning Center at ivymasters.com. And today we're going to look at Test 5, Section 1, number 47, which reads, as used in line 39, matched most nearly means. So first, you want to completely ignore the meaning of the word being asked about if you're familiar with any definition. You don't want to just say, oh, match means this and choose the answer. You always want to get it 100% based on what the passage is saying. So we go to the passage and see how matched is used. And I kind of already gave you a good example of how it's used. So the researchers put both the mental athletes and a group of matched control subjects into MRI scanners and asked them to memorize 3-digit numbers, black and white photographs of people's faces, and magnified images of snowflakes while their brains were being scanned. So what do they mean by match the control subjects with the mental athletes? And this is one approach that you can take here, which is a good one. You want to think of what the word means before you look at the answer choices. And it seems here that matched means if you had a white male in their 20s, you had another who was a mental athlete, you had another white male in their 20s. If you had a black female in her 30s, then you had another black female in her 30s. One mental athlete and one not. So you were basically matching them. So we gotta look for the answer that best matches our prediction. Comparable. Now, if you don't know the meaning of the word that fits here exactly, you might avoid this answer choice, but comparable means similar, so it looks like a good match for our answer. Identical. Well, it's unlikely that they had only identical twins doing this, and if they did, that would be pretty significant, and they'd probably mention that, but there is no mention of that anywhere in the passage. Distinguishable means you're able to tell the difference between them. So would you be able to tell the difference between who is in a mental athlete and who is a control subject? Well, if you told someone, yeah, and if one's name's John, the other's name's Ralph, and if one's fat and one's skinny, then yeah, but that does not have any relevance to exactly how match is being used in this context. And then competing. Are they competing? Well, they are testing the mental abilities of the mental athletes versus the control subjects, but in the context of this sentence, they just need someone who they could compare the mental athlete to for the control group. Answer choice A is your best answer. Thank you for joining us today. If you like this video, click like. You can share it with someone who has trouble with vocab and context questions. If there's any question you'd like to see answered from any official PSAT or SAT or ACT, leave that in the comments. I'd be happy to shoot a video on it. And click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Have a great day.